Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? Today, I've decided that I'm going to be talking on to you on a term called as decision. We all make decisions in life, don't we? Whether that decision is right, whether that decision is wrong, time can only say, right? But we still take decisions, right? Or whenever we might introspect, we might sit back and say, did we take a right decision? Or if we would have taken a decision as X instead of Y, would the outcome be different? Now, all those things revolve around decisions, right? So, what I did was I said the best way to start, a video is to talk about decisions. And I've added a word to that called as informed decisions. Now, what is informed decisions? Okay. Now, what has happened is that I have been in an industry for a long, long time, close to 3 decades. And during this time, I've interacted with different stakeholders across different geographies, across different levels, right from a IT manager, an IT engineer, a security consultant, a voice consultant, to a CEO, CIO, CFO, CRO, the C suite, the venture capitalist, the so called governance team. And every time I interact with them, I used to, hear different terms being told. Like, a decision is in the making, or, we are awaiting decision from the higher management, or will take a decision, or shall take a decision, or can take a decision. So, what I've understood is that the reason why a decision is pending or a decision needs to be made, or the major ingredient of a decision is the context. The context becomes very, very critical. And how do you basically expand this word context? It's basically saying what is the information available to you at a particular point in time to make a decision? Who are the stakeholders in that decision? What is your thinking process? All those things become very, very critical. And that's why I said I've named this video as informed decision. And this has come through, three key statements. Informed decisions is based on three key statements. The first and foremost is being aware. The second state, being aware, is the first step of towards taking an informed decision. The next statement says due care and due diligence are the two pillars of an informed decision. So first is you're being aware, and then you use due care and due diligence, and those are considered to be the two pillars of an informed decision. And finally, what happens when you take an informed decision? It is the stepping stone. I repeat, it's the stepping stone towards a journey with reduced surprises. An informed decision also helps us, answer the four W's, which is the what, where, when, and why. And it also helps us answer the how. So if you look at the first statement, it helps you answer what does being aware means, where will being aware lead you to, when does being aware help you, and how does it help you. Due care and due diligence answers the why. Why do you need these two pillars? Why do you need due care and due diligence? And I'm going to be talking a lot in detail about these three statements. But before I get into that video, which I'm going to release at a later date, let me come back to you with some things which I probably wanted you to understand. Now, here on the right hand side, you might see a picture or an image of Rumi, right? And there are some wordings out there. What does it say? It says, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the word. Today, I am wise, so I'm changing myself. Now, just park these words for some time and let's look at what you see on your screen today. Sometime back when I was reading a book, the author is known as Yuval Noah Harari. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. And the name of the book is Sapiens: A Brief History of Mankind. So there were two words which struck me. So everyone watching this video or reading this slide is a Homo sapien. These are the two words, right? And you might wonder, what does this mean, Homo sapiens? I'm going to decipher these two words for you. Don't worry. Okay. But what exactly does these two words mean? So let's look at the first word, sapiens. Sapiens means, or if it in its simplified form, it means wise. Okay. And homo means man or woman. So every living human being is a Homo sapien. So we are all are wise. So now let's come back to what Rumi is saying. So today I am wise, so I'm going to change myself. So we need to change ourselves to make this world a better place, to take informed decisions, which are we need to be aware of certain things before we take an informed decisions. We need to do a due care and due diligence. When we say we are wise and we change ourselves, the we tend to we agree to disagree. We tend to reduce the conflict. It becomes more of a discussion than a debate, because a discussion is understanding each other's views and trying to exchange knowledge. But a debate is basically trying to win an argument. Okay? So this is, having said this, why am I talking and what is the value add I'm going to do to this video? Now, as I'm also Homo sapien, so I'm also wise, right? Just like you all. But can I say I'm an expert? No, I can't claim to be an expert, and I'm not claiming to be an expert. So, what am I then? Let me say. So, I can say perhaps, wisdom is a combination of experience and knowledge. And I just said, look, I've spent close to 3 decades in the IT industry, right? And during this journey, I have gained a lot of knowledge. So my experience plus knowledge has helped me attain wisdom in certain areas of life, right? And that is the wisdom which I'm trying to share through this video, right? And through this informed decision thought process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present my views from a different perspective, right? So I'm not an expert, but I'm wise just like you all are. So I'm going to present it from a different perspective. So perspective becomes very important. So there is a reader's perspective, there is a writer's perspective. So somebody is writing an email needs to write it from a reader's perspective so that the message is understood by the reader. Similarly, somebody who is speaking like me here, I need to speak from a listener's perspective. So if 10 different people are listening to this video, each one might draw a different inference from what I'm trying to say. Each one might look at it from a different perspective, based on the context, based on their knowledge, based on their experience, and based on their wisdom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm trying to present my definition of informed decision from a different perspective. Now, what I also wanted to basically, talk about some principles I've tried to follow in life. Now, these principles came to me over a 3 decade experience. Okay, so why do I talk about these principles? Okay, now what we also need to understand is when you are looking at things from a different perspective, it helps you, imagine new things. Imagination leads to creativity. Creativity blossoms thinking. which promotes knowledge. So this is very important. So when you are being aware of something, it it, it leads to you imagining different things, and that leads to creativity, which blossoms thinking, which promotes knowledge. Okay, so what are those principles? These are those five principles, and the first principle is, whenever I wake up in the morning, I start my day by saying I know nothing. And why do I say that? Because the moment I say nothing, I am acting just like a small baby. My mind is blank. It's like a clear slate, clear board. Anything and anybody can write anything on that. It opens up my mind and my thought process to learn new things. And when I'm learning new things based on my experience and my knowledge and the wisdom I've attained, I'm trying to understand if what I'm learning today, is it something which I'd already learned earlier? Is it from a different perspective? And that helps me understand if I have to unlearn what I learned yesterday and relearn some new things today. And that is the reason why people like us who have been in this industry much before, there was the internet had become commercialized, sustain. Now, let's come to the second one. Change is constant, embrace it. Why do I say that? I just said people like me started out at a time when, there was not this instant culture. There was no internet. There was no application based economy. There was no gig economy. We had just one day, Sunday, as a holiday. So we used to work 6 days a week, or most of us used to work 6 days a week. We didn't have the 24/7 culture. We didn't have that. We had a work-life balance. I'm not saying there's no work-life balance today, but we had a much better work-life balance then, right? So what has happened is over a period of time, as the internet came in, USB were introduced, mobile phones came in, applications came in, applications became the center stage, 24/7 became the norm. We have embraced change because change is constant, and that has helped us to grow. The third principle is common sense. Now, why common sense? I'll share two examples here. The first example is basically something which happened very recently when I was on a vacation in a South American country. Sorry, a North American country. And when I was there, I I tried to order food using a third party app. Okay. So I opened that app, which was in English, and I wanted to order food from a well-known, burger company. And the menu of that burger company was thrown to me in French. Now, I didn't know French. I don't know French. So I tried to use some common sense and, I ordered something. Now, what I thought I was doing it right actually turned out to be wrong. I was ticking no, no, no everywhere instead of ticking yes, yes, yes. But what happened was the money got deducted. So let's say I ordered 5 burgers. The money for the 5 burgers with the kind of burgers I'd ordered is deducted. Well, for me, the order is placed because the money is deducted. So I wait. After some time, I see the delivery person come in and hand over me a package. When I open the package, it's a brown envelope, and inside the envelope I find empty wrappers because I had ordered burger, but I'd said no to everything. So the person who was executing the order was following a standard operating procedure, and the standard operating procedure might have said that when you receive an order, follow steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's exactly the person did. And what I got delivered was empty wrappers. So basically, if that person who was following this SOP had used common sense and said, hey, the money is deducted, but this person has ordered nothing. So should I be delivering empty wrappers, or should I call up, or should I escalate it to somebody? He didn't do that. He or she didn't do that. And what gets delivered to me? Empty wrappers. The second thing, that's why I said common sense becomes important. Both who is writing a SOP and who is following that SOP, right? So it's two sides of the coin, right? So somebody who does something provides a service, and somebody who is using that service, right? Now, the second example, let me say, we all talk about risk, right? So risk management to most of us is something like rocket science. It's Latin and Greek. We don't understand risk management. But in fact, we are not able to correlate what we do in our daily lives to risk management. When we cross a road, we are doing a risk analysis. When we enter a lift, we are doing a risk analysis. We are buying a life insurance, we are doing a risk analysis. When we put a lock on the door, we are doing a risk analysis. When we put a CCTV, we are doing a risk analysis. When we decide to choose to stay in or live in a particular locality, we are doing a risk analysis or a risk management. So basically, or when we buy life insurance, so we do risk management, risk analysis in our day-to-day life, but we don't realize that. So we are doing it in a subconscious manner. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to keep it simple. We need to understand that information security is not rocket science. Finally, the fifth principle, which says learning never ends till you meet your creator. What does that mean? Now, as I said, you get up every day and you say, I know nothing, right? So you are all tuned up to learn new things, unlearn what you learned and which might have become obsolete or redundant, and relearn new things, right? Now, the only time you can stop learning is when you close your eyes and you don't wake up. When the last breath exhales your nostril and you meet your creator. In short, when you're dead, that's the only time I feel learning ends. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to stop here, give you some time to digest what all I've said, to understand how as Homo sapiens, based on our experience, based on our knowledge, based on the wisdom we have attained, how can you take this, understand this video? How can you understand my talks from a different perspective? How can you use these principles in life and take an informed decision? So till I come back to you with the next video, goodbye for now. Thank you very much.